Hi guys, I'm back up here with another divine feminine message for the feminines. Remember, all readings are not for all, they're for some. Take what you need and leave the rest, as well as we got that slot open for personal readings. If you feel guided or interested in purchasing one of those, you know what to do. DM me, we can get you set up. Come fuck with your girl, okay? Drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you guys and start the discussion, as well as let's go and share these bits, man. Let's get this divine knowledge out here for the collective so we all can get on one accord, okay? So that's about it. So we got the overall message here, but we're going to clarify that overall message with, I guess, these cards here, the chakra cards, to really get some more insight on it. For the foundation of this message, we will be using the energy oracle, I believe these are called, and we will be clarifying this whole entire message to get some more insight with the regular tarot, okay? Remember, this is only a divine feminine message. We're not doing the divine masculine right now unless he comes in, or she, you know your demonstration, but unless they come in, it's about you, sis, and that's what we rolling with right now, right? So let me take a sip of this real quick. Yeah, okay. So before we get started, how do we get close to God? We get close to God by, one, knowing ourselves. We got to know ourselves. How do we learn ourselves? How do we know ourselves? It leads right into the second. You got to know God. Right? Because when you know God, you know yourself. And when you know yourself, you know God, right? Last but not least, once you know yourself and you know God, you'll unlock the understanding of your masculine. Okay, so a lot of the confusion on these journeys when it comes to our divine masculines has to do with the lack of knowing self and the lack of knowing God. Okay, because if you understood self, you would understand God. And when you understand God, you understand self, then you would understand your masculine. You will understand why your divine masculine does what he or she does, right? But if you are not spearheading this journey and you are getting confused and just operating this spiritual ass journey from a worldly perspective, from a human perspective, instead of connecting with your source to get the understanding of why this is in your face in the first place, right? You are going to continue to be disappointed within your journey. You're going to continue to allow this journey to override you. You're going to continue to allow this journey to drag you, sis. To drag you, sis. You know what I'm saying? This is that type of energy, just some real shit. You know what I'm saying? And I've been seeing this energy within the collective. And you have to understand, if you are the feminine, right? I don't know why my sinuses is like fucking with me for some reason. But anyways, if you are the feminine, if you're the awakened one, if you understand what this journey is, and it's your job to get a complete understanding of this journey. There's a song, the remix of, what is it? Mask Off by Future, right? With Kendrick Lamar in it, right? There was a part where he says, I level up every time God says so. Right? This is your job. You level up every time God says so. When you're connected with God, right? You level up every time God says so. Right? So once again, like I said, to understand your divine masculine, right? Choose your demonstration, right? To understand it, right? You're going to have to, one, understand yourself. Two, understand God. Because the moment you understand God, you understand yourself. And when you understand yourself and you understand God, you understand your divine masculine. You understand your divine masculine feminine, right? Whatever demonstration you got going on, okay? All right, so how do you get an understanding? I'm hearing, how do you get an understanding of God, Jay? How, right? There is always a care package within every single video that is placed on this platform in any way, shape, or form. Right? So that being said, we got the divine feminines, the divine masculine, collective messages, the rise of the masculine, rise of the feminine. What else? Anything else? These daily motivational messages. We also got some channel messages in there. And we also got some fucking astrology. I don't do too much astrology. That was kind of more in my early years, right? But, it's all here. And there's wisdom here. And everything here. The reason why this channel or this platform is called spiritual soil is because everything on this platform is about God and getting you closer to your soul, right? To who you are, right? Because the soil, your soul, is what's going to blossom your harvest, right? Your harvest. Right? So this is that type of energy in these moments in time here. Okay? So let's go and get it popping, okay? That channel message had to come out before the actual message here, okay? So what we're going to be talking about and focusing our energy and focusing our mindset on is surrendering our masculines to the Father. Okay? Let me say that again. Surrendering our masculines to the Father. Right? When it comes to surrendering your masculine to the Father, to God, whoever you believe in, right? It is given the indication that you have complete trust within your Creator, that your Creator knows what's best. In these moments in time, as a feminine, you should be in a space where you can surrender your masculine to the Father, right? So that being said, you are no longer operating out of fear anymore, right? There's no more fear-based. There's a complete trust within your Creator, right? So with this type of energy in these moments in time here, it may look stagnant. Your relationship may look stagnant to the human naked eye, right? With your divine masculine, right? Or there might be a standstill, or there might be an energy where you guys just been missing the mark, right? And some of y'all, you could just be chilling, cooling. But regardless, it's about you being able to release the masculine to the Father. Surrender the masculine to the Father, because no one's saying leave your masculine. If that's what you got it to do, God will let you know that, and you move accordingly. But in this case, we're talking about surrendering the energy of your masculine to the Father. So this is that type of energy where you're not getting too caught up with the shit that your masculine's doing, because you understand, right? Because we've already talked about this multiple times on this platform before. Your masculine is the prodigal son, or your masculine is the prodigal daughter, right? So this is that type of energy here. Your masculine's going to have to go within the world to figure out his shit alone. The problem here that we're having with the feminines, right, is that we're trying to solve problems for our masculine. We're trying to hold these safety nets for our divine masculines, right? This is that type of energy in these moments in time here. The masculine, you're going to have to allow the masculine to go out into the world and experience, right? Just like how the prodigal son did, right? He wanted to leave home. He wanted to leave home. He wanted his half of his, I guess, loc, would you say, his portion, right? And go to a faraway land. You know what I'm saying, right? And when he went, he took his cut, took his loaf, right? And went to that faraway land and experienced what he experienced in the faraway land when he was in the world, right? And then there was a moment in time where he came to himself. It's time to go home, right? But to even be able to do that, you're going to have to play that role as the father, right? Feminine, as the father, right? The father allowed him, gave him his loaf and allowed him to go. But let his son know that this you're welcome here. When you're ready to come home, you come on home, right? This is that type of energy in these moments in time here, where the masculine has to go figure it out on his own, to get the insight on his own, right? And then he'll make his way back, the journey back to his father, right? To his quote unquote feminine, right? But the only way that you can allow your masculine to experience and become who he needs to be, right, is when you allow yourself to experience and allow yourself to be, right, who you need to be. And who you need to be is, first of all, remember, the bride of God, the bride of quote unquote, at least my foundation, Christ, right? Because everybody's foundation is different. or the groom of Christ, right? You marry Christ or you marry God, right? Before you marry your husband or your wife. So that being said, you should be in an energy to be able to give your masculine away or give your feminine away to God, right? This is that type of energy, being able to surrender, right? Surrender your divine masculine to the Father, right? Right. With this type of energy in these moments in time here, and watch your masculine come back home anew, right? Anew. Beautiful. Let's get some clarity on this. Some overall energy. Yeah, it's scary to go that way. Just imagine, I had a point. Thank you, God, before I get the clarification. Imagine if, let's use the story of the prodigal son and the father, right? Imagine if the father was in a space of a fear-based space where imagine what the father would do in that situation. If the prodigal son came to him and said, "Look, I want to leave. I don't want to be here. Right? He would probably not give him his loot. He'd probably imprison this motherfucker. Keep him always on watch, right? Constantly got his thumb on this, on his son, right? Which is gonna create more resistance, right? This is that type of energy. No, but the thing is about the father, right? He had enough understanding within his creator, within his God, within who he believed in, within his source, that God is going to take care of my son. God is going to take care of my son. God is going to take care of my daughter. So that being said, I don't have to be so hands-on. The thing is with this energy is there's times when God wants us to engage, and there's times when God wants us to surrender. In these moments in time, it's about surrendering right now. And this goes for me too. This goes for me too, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Surrendering your divine masculine. So your divine masculine can be brought anew. The only way for God to work in your masculine's life and to create the masculine that God seeks, not really you. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to understand, man, you happen to benefit, right, to a divine masculine that is connected with his source, connected with who he's supposed to be, and is on his job. You happen to benefit that. But honestly, for God to work on your masculine so he can be the best version, or she can be the best version for what? The creator, right? You just happen to get the benefits, right? It's not for you. You know what I'm saying? Your job is here to be a helpmate suitable. A helpmate suitable, right? So this is that type of energy in these moments in time. A helpmate suitable is able to release their divine masculine or their divine kingdom spouse, right? Husband, wife, to the Father. To the Father. You know what I'm saying? This is that type of energy in these moments in time. Beautiful energy. Let's keep moving forward. Let's get this overall, because this is the overall message, but we're going to really get some more clarity, I guess, to tackle on that overall message with some cards here. Okay? What's going on with the feminines? Why is this surrender your masculine to the Father here? Yeah. With balance. So with this type of energy, what I'm seeing here in these moments in time, to balance out these scales, to allow, once again, the breakthrough of your masculine. I can't make this shit up. Bottom of the deck, miracle. To allow the breakthrough of your divine masculine, you're going to have to know when you need to engage and when you need to surrender. So in these moments in time here, it's about a surrendering in these periods of time to engage. Because why? I level up every time God says so. right? I level up every time God says so. So that being said, when you're in that space of separation, when you're in that space of not connected with your twin, when you're in that space of not connected with your kingdom spouse, when you're in that energy of there's complete gappage between you and your divine masculine, you are in that moment of leveling up. So that being said, you could be dealing with triggers. You could be dealing with obstacles. You could be dealing with delays. You could be dealing with a lot of shit, but it's here to make you stronger. Why? Because I level up every time God says so. Right? And with a level up, it requires separation. Because separation causes elevation. I repeat, separation causes elevation. Right? You elevate when you're separated. Right? Because the truth be told, when you are by yourself, you get more done. Right? You connect with who you need to connect. If you use that time of separation correctly, right? Because everybody don't use it correctly. You know what I'm saying? Everybody goes and just get distracted even more in the fucking world. We see it all the time in the world. But if you really utilize those times of solitude, those are those moments when you are leveling up. Those are those moments when you are becoming a better version of yourself. So when the next time you and your masculine bridges that gap, right? Bridges that gap. You should be a different person than you was before you had the separation in the first place. Right? Right. So this is that type of energy, understanding to balance out the scales between the masculine and feminine is you're going to have to surrender the masculine to the Father. Because when you surrender the masculine to the Father, it allows you to free up space to learn about yourself. It allows yourself, this is speaking to my spirit, y'all, I'm sorry. This allows yourself to surrender the overthinking, surrender the pain that you're placing on yourself, surrendering the fear, surrendering a lot of shit, stagnation within yourself, right? Because of the concept of trying to keep your thumb on your masculine. Because it's coming from a space of fear, right? So when you're able to surrender your masculine to the Father, you're able to rest. You're able to rejuvenate. You're able to get connected with God. And when you surrender your masculine to the Father, that's when you cling on to God the most. That's when you spend more time with God the most. Within those times of separation, within those times that you gonna have to go through this journey, right? Within those times when you don't know, right? This is you gonna have to cling on to God the most, right? Right. Let's keep moving forward. Okay. Let's get this foundation of this message. We'll keep it out with the Chime, because these are both the overall message. Okay. These all need to come out. Okay, so we got everybody's energy. The bottom of the deck here has to do with blossoming in abundance. Okay, so with this type of energy in these moments of time, before we get into this spill of cards here, you're going to have to understand here, to get into the kingdom of heaven, you have to be childlike, right? To get to where God's at, right? You're going to have to be childlike, right? To elevate, right? Because every time I elevate, every time God says so, right? I level up every time God says so, right? This is that type of energy, right? In these moments of time here, it's about you really. Threes have to do with evolutions. 3 has to do with ascension, right? 3s, right? Descendant masters, a spiritual number, a wisdom number, right? This is that type of energy as a collective in these moments in time here. It's about us taking a tally mark of where our life is right now, right? As a feminine, right? taking a tally mark on where our life is. Yeah, the love life, the love spectrum may not be where it needs to be right now. It might be a little bit wonky, right? But with this type of energy in these moments in time, you'll understand that there's a reason why it's like this. Because if there's a reason why, if you are not in union yet, okay, there's some shit you need to do. I repeat, if you are not in union yet, right? If you are not in union yet, there's something you need to do. And there's still work that needs to be done. So in these moments in time here, instead of dreading off of not having your divine masculine or trying to keep your thumb on your divine masculine, keeping tabs on your divine masculine, right? Because I feel like some feminists are watching the masculine's pages here where it's not going to do you no good, sis or bro, to do that, right? This is that type of energy in these moments in time because it's going to look like the masculine's living his best life, right? This, in which he could be. But in this type of energy in these moments in time here, it's about you leveling up when God says so, right? This is that type of energy. You should be elevating right now. You should be getting closer to your creator right now. You should understand where you're at in your journey right now. There shouldn't be any confusion. There shouldn't be any confusion. Like dead ass. There shouldn't be any confusion with this type of energy in these moments in time. Y'all, my nose is like bothering me. And it's like every time these readings start, my nose wants to itch or some shit. Anyways, a lot of people say like, when that happens, that means like you're channeling and shit like that. But in the spiritual community and things like that, y'all know. Anyways, let's keep moving forward. Here I am getting sidetracked and shit. Yeah, but yeah, man, like you gotta understand, man, within that time of separation, it requires you to be building that relationship with God, because the only way that you can become who you need to be, and for your masculine to become who he needs to be or she needs to be, is to see a walking example. And a walking example is a helpmate suitable. A walking example, despite if the masculine around or not, is supportive of their divine masculine. Not constantly chasing the divine masculine. Allowing them to have that prodigal son moment. Take his load and go experience life. Right? Because why? Because once he goes through, he or she is going to understand, right, what is necessary, right, and make that journey home. But the thing is, for your masculine to get connected with God, you're going to have to allow God to connect with the masculine. If you are in the way of that, how is the masculine going to get any connectivity with God? Dead ass. This is that type of energy in these moments in time. Your divine masculine, right, needs to be put in situations where only he can look up, get on his fucking knees and pray to God. I need you right now. Show me the way. The same way that you had that sick and tired moment at the beginning of your journey before you even met your motherfucking masculine, right? Your masculine needs that. When you were on this journey, because a lot of us, right, feminists, we didn't go looking for our divine masculines, right? It just happened to happen, right? This is that type of energy in these moments in time, right? But within that process, before we even met our masculine, we were really going on a spiritual journey to understand God. I don't know about y'all. Before I got connected with my divine masculine, even if before I even knew that this man was my divine masculine, right? Or any way, shape, or form, right? I was on a journey towards discovery of God because I didn't like where my life was going. I didn't like the cards that I was dealt. So I decided to go to God and ask God, show me how to make this wrong or right. I need assistance. I need you now. I'm looking for you. Can't find you. I can't hear you. Right? This is that type of energy. Whatever you need me to do, I will do it. And you need me to drop, I'll drop it. Right? I was on that journey before I even ran into my divine masculine. And boom, fucking journey happened, right? So this is that type of energy in these moments in time. Understanding that you have to remain in that space before you even met your divine masculine. Remembering why you even got in the connecting beforehand. Remembering what you were doing, right? You jumped on this journey. Right? Let's keep moving forward. Oh my God. Good. Let's give it a second. Okay. Yeah, that was a lot of energy there. But yeah, that was all for the blossoming abundance here. Y'all, my speech has been blah. Like, it's like, it's just slurry. I'm like, damn. What's going on? It's probably us being in this Mercury shadow phase or whatever. I don't know. Anyways, let's get to the reading, right? The foundation of this reading, we got the combination of cards, right? God is the... Okay? Attachment. Okay? Anxiety. Can't make this shit up. Okay? And yin and yang. Right? All right. So with this combination of cards, it goes back to what I'm saying. Being able to surrender your divine masculine to the Father. When you're able to do that, you'll be at peace. You'll be in an energy of letting go of burdens. You have to let go of your burdens. The way to let go of your burdens is to put it in God's hands. You're going to have to understand who God is. How do you get an understanding of who God is? Go within yourself. And God comes out of the form of yourself. God understands that you understand yourself. You can hear yourself. So that means that God will change form in any form that God wants to change into. Why the fuck will God not change into you? Why will God not form into you? Why will God not form into a familiar individual, a familiar voice, a familiar spirit, right, as yourself, because you understand yourself regardless, right? Despite if you're confused about yourself and why you do ... One thing we do know is you hear your thoughts, and your thoughts come in the form of you, and you can comprehend you. You can comprehend you. Why the fuck will God not use that tool to get to you? Right? So this is that type of energy. The problem is, as humans, we tend to doubt what we hear. Right? Oh, that's coming in the form of me. That must not be God. I heard myself. That must not be God. That's why motherfuckers be wondering, why can I hear God? Why is this so difficult? No, you overthinking. I could be speaking to you now. And you ain't comprehending that God's speaking to you. Because it's coming in the form of yourself. You hear yourself. You're connecting, cognitively connecting the dots here. Right? Oh, because I hear me. It must become me. But in some sense, that's in the betterment of your life, right? You just missed the whole fucking mark. Right? Right. So when it comes to communicating with God, God communicates in any form. But God likes to use the version of yourself a lot. Because why? God knows. You understand yourself. You can hear yourself. You can comprehend yourself. Why would God not be able to use you to get to you? Right? You know what I would say? God used you to get to you. Right? So this is that type of energy. If it's for the betterment of your life, God to you. If it's something to sabotage your life, that ain't God. That's the only tool you need to get connected with God, to know that you're speaking to God. To know that you're speaking to God is if it's bettering your life in any way, shape, or form, and it's in the most righteous way, that's God. So stop doubting God. You are a reflection. You are an image of your creator. Stop doubting yourself. Because when you doubt yourself, because remember, you got to know God. 2, you got to know yourself. To know yourself, you got to know God. But if you're denying yourself, you denying God. Hence, you're denied by your divine, right? It's denying you because you're direct reflections, right? Right. Because of the lack of accepting self, the lack of accepting who God is. You deny yourself, you deny God. You deny God, you deny your divine masculine. And that's vice versa. Right? Right. With this Page of Swords, it's about you diving deep in the hole here. Really in this energy of diving deep and seeking truth. Yeah, I can't make this shit up. Like the hermit. Diving deep and seeking truth. How do you go? How do you truth? By deep in yourself. Having that 40-day mentality, right? Right? As you go through the wilderness, as you travel through the wilderness, as you leave things behind, right? This is when your masculine's going to start seeing you get out of that crab bucket. This is when your masculine's going to start seeing you change your life. This is when your masculine's going to start seeing you transform and evolve, right? This is when your masculine's going to change, start mirroring you, right? Start mirroring you, right? But the journey starts out with you. You're going to have to be the walking example for your divine masculine. Because if the masculine's always in the world, all the masculine sees is karma shit. Karma shit. You're going to have to be that walking example. You know what I'm saying? And the way you be in that walking example is by doing that within your life. With the Nine of Pentacles, it has to do with you really taking care of your own harvest here. You're taking care of yourself. That going back to that surrendering the masculine to God, surrendering the masculine to the Father, right? This is that type of energy in these moments in time when you're able to surrender the masculine to the Father. You get into union, right? With union here, first of all, you get into union with yourself. Second of all, you get into overall, when you get into union with yourself, the second thing, you get into union with God. Last but not least, that's when you get into physical union with your divine masculine. But you're going to have to get into union with yourself, and you're going to have to get into union with God. You're going to have to marry yourself, and you're going to have to marry God, right? First of all, you are God. You are the wife of God. God's before you are the wife of your husband. You are the groom, the husband of God, before you are a husband to a wife. The reason why this shit, let's talk about it. Let's really talk about the divorce rate. Why the shit's so high. That everybody's like, it's so high, the dating pool is so fucked up, wooty, woo, right? The whole crisis within relationships right now. The reason why this crisis within relationships is here is because God is not the center of it. When God is not the center of your relationship, it is bound to fail. And I'm passionate about this shit, y'all. Like, don't take my passion as anger, okay? I'm really passionate. Let me say that shit again for the motherfuckers in the back. The reason why, if God is not the center of your relationships are bound to fail, right? So, in these moments in time, I don't give a fuck. If God is not the center of your relationship, you in a fucking flee. You are not in a relationship. You're not in a marriage if God is not in the center of your shit. That ain't no marriage. That's just an agreement. Let me say that shit again for the motherfuckers in the back. That ain't no marriage. That's just an agreement. Right? You know what I'm saying? The reason why the divorce rate is so high and the dating pool is so high, everybody's so confused and connected. Not really confused. Run it back, because that's not what I'm trying to say. Everybody's so distracted on the world instead of connecting with God. Because when you connect with God, God sends you a direct reflection that's all looking right? Two connectivities, right? Masculine, feminine, right? Are both God and will let go of this connection if it's in the name of the kingdom. That's a relationship. That's a relationship. That's a union. That's a marriage. There's a difference, y'all. Because if God's in the center of your shit is forever, within eternity, to be fruitful, blossom, elevate. You'll learn so much in it. You'll be stimulated all the time because God's the center of your shit. You'll be fulfilled all the time. God's in the center of your shit. There will not be no confusion. There will not be no sniffing around. There will not be motherfuckers getting distracted. There will not be none of that because God is the center of your shit. Because why? Y'all doing work. Y'all doing wands. Y'all on some purpose shit. Y'all doing more than just sitting here idle-minded. Looking for motherfuckers just to shackle up with. Right? Right. So to get into union, right? To get into reunion, right? To get into a recognition or a reconciliation is you're going to have to reintroduce yourself to yourself. You're going to have to reintroduce yourself to God. Not really, because God knows who you are. It's that type of energy in these moments in time you're going to have to allow God to work. It's about you allowing God to work. Are you going to allow God to work in your life? Are you going to allow God to work in your relationship? Are you going to allow God to work on you? Are you going to allow God to work on your husband, your wife? Do you trust that God can take care of you and your wife and husband? Do you trust that God knows your best interests? Do you trust? Where's your relationship with God? If your relationship with God ain't tip top, if it ain't this, then you got other shit to worry about than your divine masculine. I repeat, if your relationship ain't like this, then you got other to worry about than your divine masculine. That's the shit. And on top of that, that's on your to-do list, and you it's kind of like you not handling the priorities of your to-do list. You go down to the bottom and handle the shit that could be handled another day. Instead of the three main ones on the top that is urgent. Urgent. Right? So that being said, that relationship with God is urgent. Trying to get with your masculine ain't a priority right now. We'll get to that. That's on the list. But should it be the first thing? No. Right? This is that type of energy in these moments in time. Beautiful. Let's keep going. Yeah. The moment that you surrender your masculine to the Father, this energy will be let go. This energy with the Two of Swords has to do with, once again, keeping that thumb, holding on to things that's no longer serving you. In this energy of putting yourself in stagnation for no reason. The moment that you release your divine masculine to the Father, the moment that your whole perspective is going to change. Are you going to do some trigger moments within that time? Yes. Are you going to have to wean yourself off of your divine masculine? Yes. And what we mean by that is about the energy here. If you're guided to walk away from the masculine, you know what to do. Apply that to your area. Apply this reading to that. But to those, not everybody's in that situation. But with that type of energy, for those that are in that situation, utilize the same jewels and just move accordingly, right? But for this here in these moments in time, for those that are not even dealing with that, right? You and your masculine can be on good terms. It's about you releasing the energy, the bondage, right? Right. The burden that you place on yourself. Yeah. More. To really balance out skills here. Yeah. Because we got space of separation. Elevate the Seven of Wands. This energy has to do with you being able to gain strength. You're over, right? You're standing up, bravery against this energy, tempted energy. right? This is that energy, that fearful energy. Really turning your back on that, moving away from that, right? This is that type of energy. You'll start to understand with the devil and the Knight of Pentacles that this opposition energy, this quote unquote devil energy is trying to slow you down, not allowing you to be slowed down. And also it shows that the devil only can delay shit. That's it. And take anything that's meant for you. When you know that, you move accordingly. Yeah, you can delay some things. You slow it down. But can you take it from me? No. Because you taking orders from God to test me. I repeat, you taking orders from God to test me. Right? So this is that type of energy. Going fast and furious to your divine direction. Moving in a direction where you are moving away from being idle-minded. You are placing yourself on a pedestal. And what I mean by that pedestal is not, oh yeah, I'm a woman, the whole God is this. Yes, you are that. But with this energy, with this Empress energy, this is you sitting at your throne, trusting in God, knowing that God is working for you. There's nothing you need to do. The only thing you need to do is focus on your life. Focus on strengthening your relationship with God even more. That's all you need to do. Anything else is out of your scope of practice in these moments of time. Anything else is out of your scope of practice at these moments of time, right? This is that type of energy in these moments of time because you're molding the new version of you with the pentacles. You are working on creating, shaping new version of you. You are in this position of grooming yourself to be the best version of you. Because why? I love every time God says so. I love every time God says so. Right? Right. So continue to move forward on your journey as things is creating itself and your divine masculine takes that trip home. That prodigal son takes that trip home. But you cannot be waiting around for the prodigal son be in this energy of the prodigal going to come home. You're going to have to keep living your life as the prodigal is going down his or her journey. Okay? Okay. All right, I think I'm going to leave it there. Remember, all messages are not all. There's some. Take what you need and leave the rest, as well as open for personal readings. If you feel interested in purchasing one of those, you know what to do. You can DM me. We can just set up a future girl, okay? As well as drop a comment down below. Let's hear from you guys. Let's start the discussion as well as let's go and share these vids, man. Let's get this divine knowledge out here for the collective so we all can get on one accord, okay? Remember, God lets us know when we need to engage with our divine masculines and when we need to surrender our divine masculines, right? So in these moments of time here, it's about you asking God to show you how to surrender your masculine to the Father, how to surrender your masculine to God, to the source, right? Allowing yourself to surrender, right? So that means that you gotta ask God, how can I surrender my masculine to you? Show me how, lead me how to surrender my masculine to you. So I can live by you. So I can walk by you. So I can be completely engulfed within you. And God will answer. And you will then be so glad that you did it. Because your master is going to come back, oh, so much better, so much better. You're going to be so much better, so much better. And there will be a purpose between you and masculine. Right? Right. Have a good day, guys, and bye-bye.